Tap and go. We're back. We're back midweek, and this will be it this week. Hello, mate. How are you?
I'm good. My poodle is all black, and the All Blacks are now my poodle. There you
go. Yes.
That was the sole contribution of my dog.
They've been well contained. This is in fact us this week. I'm out of action. Well, in a matter of hours for several days this week. So this is us. We will be back next week though with a really interesting rugby chat, mate. We've got the CEO of Rhino balls and training gear like crash pads, tackle bags, all that stuff. We've got the CEO of that, Reg Clark, coming on for a chat, which I can't wait for. I'm really looking forward to it.
After years of having one struggle and one struggle only, Mani Boks goal kicking off the tee using the Rhino, he's unbelievable. He's tracking sort of a 95% success rate now. The Rhino, we talked to Rhino CEO about creating a ball that's branded, look, the Mani.
The Mani. Yeah.
You saw Mani, you don't know it.
Good questions. Good question. The theme this week, mate, is how deep doth the fallout run? This is interesting. Are you going or am I going?
I suppose I'm doing Q1 because it's to you. Okay, let's just stipulate that there is no real fallout for the Wallabies, because anytime you get half the points of a win from a forward pass, you just kind of stay quiet and you go, wasn't too bad. Also, not so long in the rearview mirror, it was way worse. So I'm going to put it to you more along these lines, and we'll get into fallout later with the All Blacks. But the Wallabies, is that a bit of a dent in confidence, or does it do the opposite, which is right what Joe Schmidt likes going into the Bledisloe? Top of the log still, top of the table, but go in with like, you're listening to me now, now you hear me. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. Okay. You've had your fun. Now we're doing it this way. Yeah. Look, I think it's both. I think it will dent the confidence a little bit. I think it will force a little bit of focus heading into a Bledisloe test in Auckland at Eden Park. And as I've written for Rugby Pass this week, I don't think that's a bad thing at all. Because had they have gone into the Bledisloe series with 3 wins out of 4 and leading on top and maybe a game clear, then there's just might have been a danger, and particularly after the All Blacks copped a record loss, there just might have been a little bit of danger of, we're going to do this.
Yeah.
And this just removes, this puts a bit of anxiety back in the contest. It'll sharpen up the focus at training when they reconvene on the weekend before they head to New Zealand. I've called this a real silver lining loss. I don't think it's a bad thing at all.
I've observed Joe Schmidt in the warm-ups, and I've heard stories about when he was at Ireland, well documented, about how meticulous he is. And the coach's best friend, the ally of the coach, is to either have a close win or a close loss. They kind of hate the blowouts in some ways, because the blowout, when you lose it, really kills your confidence. And the blowout, when you win it, you're walking around the next week going, my shit doesn't stink. The close, especially if you left it too late, which it looks like the Wallabies are doing too much, will allow Joe to say, we are come hell or high water. We're going to start better in the first 25, 30 minutes. Right?
Yeah.
That's got to
be. Yeah. We've talked before about, wins that you can treat as losses because you can get more out of it. And there are some losses that you just get nothing out of. Like, New Zealand, we'll get to them. New Zealand right now, I can't even imagine they review that. They just go, we're just going to start again, and we go. Coaches often talk about, we'll get plenty out of the loss. And sometimes you can get plenty out of a win as well. So, I think that's where the Wallabies have been. I don't think the loss was a bad thing at all. I think it'll just nudge them back on track. I think.
Interesting. And it's nice to have a loss like that where you, like I said, you get 2 points out of it and you're top of the table. So you have that comfort of losing, learning, but you're not in the doldrums either. Looking back a year ago, where was the Wallabies a year ago? That's got to feel good now.
Yeah. No, that's entirely valid. On the other hand, how deep is the fallout running in New Zealand from the record loss in Wellington?
It's pretty deep, mate. I've been consuming a lot of that because, as you know, when you have a glorious win, the greatest win over your greatest rival in the greatest rivalry in history, it's just delicious. Not the good guys. Not the good guys. I like, Tony Johnson. I lauded him on Twitter and talked about his deep and gracious voice and his deep analytics. But there's another set of people that's quite fun to just go on and listen to the misery. And along the way, I picked up more than just the misery side, the Schadenfreude. I actually picked up themes, and I'm going to put them into 3 different categories.
Yes.
So you have the James Parson theory, which is that these 2 games were actually pretty similar in that the Boks got 13 entries in both, and the All Blacks got 4 or 5 entries in both. So the All Blacks were already in trouble in Eden Park and didn't know it. The Great Escape, the rainy ball, all that stuff. Just the squandered 13 entries, which you would never give an opponent 13 entries at Eden Park. It just doesn't happen. So James Parson theory is that there are fundamental issues here that are not just chalked up to one game. And I'll say the James Parsons theory holds water for me because look at meters per carry. It's going to surprise everyone. Okay, so South Africa, 4.1 meters. That's good. 3.7 for Australia. That's normal to good. Argentina, 3.5. Okay, now we're getting to the average. New Zealand, 2.6. When is the last time in any tournament New Zealand was by far, by variables, the worst? And 2.6 is always bad, by the way. Then we look at line breaks. Again, you have 7.1% of carries by South Africa turn into a line break, 6.7 Australia. Great. Big step down, 4% for New Zealand. I mean, that 4 over 7 is a very bad fraction. Offload, 7.7 for South Africa, 5.9 for New Zealand. So across the board, there's an attack issue with New Zealand. They know it. Second theory is that it's just normal to cycle, parity, rugby's different. We're not going to win the same rate. Give him time. Scott Barrett, Razor Robertson, work it out. So that's sort of the other polar opposite. And then somewhere in the middle, there's this theory. If he loses the Bledisloe, them motherfuckers out. I mean, it is spoken with a bat, and it is steely-eyed. And people are talking about this means everything to me. This guy's he's driving us into a ditch, basically.
For years we have talked about, they wouldn't want to be the team that loses the Bledisloe. You wouldn't want to be the coach that loses the Bledisloe. But
and
now
the longer that streak goes, isn't it worse? Like that, it's almost like piled. If you lost the Bledisloe 3 years into the Bledisloe, okay, but now it's enormous.
The current situation. If it was a case that the All Blacks were leading, if the All Blacks had 3 wins out of 4, and were playing pretty well, and then just happened to get Australia on 2 days and they lost the Bledisloe, I can imagine the fallout from that would just be, it was going to happen someday.
It's cumulative.
If they lose it now, holy moly!
No, there's a litany now. There's the first loss to Argentina. Then there's the first loss to Argentina in Argentina. Then there's the biggest loss in a nation's history in rugby ever.
At home.
How rugby matters. And I think it's the biggest loss ever, anywhere. Yeah. So, and here's why. I went and just looked at the verbs and nouns and adverbs. Capitulation, give up, head hanging, no clue. It's dire. And it's not from people who get on and do the Quigley thing, just say shit. I mean, these are like proper commentators. These are Sonny Bill Williams. These are, Mills Mulawina. I mean, Kieran Reid. He's not a guy who just blows smoke.
So I caught the tail end of the coverage there on Saturday, and Scott Robertson comes onto a panel there on Sky Sport, and he's quite genuinely asked, "You're a building team. How do you bounce back from this?" And my immediate thought to that was, they are number 2 in the world. They are not a building team. Like,
what are they?
That
they
doesn't
trying?
fit.
Are they? Yeah, that's the question. And I think underneath all these debates and the 3 schools of thought, it's where are we? Are we that again? Are we ever that again? Maybe the best days are already gone. Maybe we missed it. And so now we're consigned because of population growth, because of other sports beckoning, because of Steven Adams being so successful, whatever. But not all the little guys in New Zealand are going, I want to be an All Black anymore.
Not this week. Yeah. Where are we up to?
So that's it. So
where are we up to?
Now we're on Q3, which is So we're going on to round 5 and round 6. We'll just take them as a brace now and just say, what happens? The non-Super Rugby teams are playing each other, and the Super Rugby teams are playing each other.
Yeah,
when I say the word Super Rugby, you immediately, have a sphincter tightening because New Zealand seems to have the wood over you just in one area, which is when you guys play each other. So here's the question: has anything changed in your mind based on evidence in the last year that would say this Bledisloe is the most likely, the most vulnerable for New Zealand, the closest one? Because I'm going to say yes for me. But
it definitely is. Yeah, it definitely is. I'm absolutely going to water this down though, because I'm not saying anything out of tune. I'm not going to.
Come on, say it.
I'm not going to jinx this. I'm not going to get too far ahead of myself. There's multiple of me. No, I am watering down expectations on this.
Do you think either team, New Zealand or Australia, will sweep, or do you think it splits?
It feels like it might split. Winning 2 games is for Australia has always been the difficult contest. The interesting thing this time around is that it's Auckland first, then Perth. For as long as I can remember, it's been in Australia first and mostly in Sydney first, then Auckland.
So who does that favor? Do you like that with all the injuries and all the confidence? Is it better to grab them at Auckland and Eden Park or not?
Because I think they can go into this first game and just go, we've just got to win it. We've just got to win it. It's just another game. It's just another game. It's just another game. It's just another game. We've just got to win it. And if they can do that, then they can come home and win the series. Whereas previously it's we need to start well at home. We need to start well in Sydney. We've done that. We've got the result. You beauty. Now we've got to go to Eden Park.
Yeah.
And it's that it's the thought of going to Eden Park, particularly on the back, if they've happened to have won the first game, they know there's a reaction coming. They know there's an Eden Park record to be protected. It's the crippling fear, dare I say it. This now that it's flipped, I actually wonder if it might free them up. They can just go to New Zealand and just play.
A red hot
doesn't matter where they are.
Free swing.
Yeah. Essentially. So it does feel like it's the best chance in a long time. It definitely does. But that's because New Zealand hasn't been where they currently are in a long time going into a Bledisloe test. So
it seems like New Zealand should win that. But I think the 2 reasons why I think Wallabies could upset them and actually sweep. One is the template for beating them is now just laid out for you, fresh. And Wallabies have the kind of athletes and ball skills and energy to simulate what just happened with the Springboks. I mean, it won't be exactly like that, but something along those lines. And the second thing is, I don't think the 10 is critical to that approach. I mean, yes, Mani Lubbock had a good game. So did Sasha before him. But it was actually more amongst big ball carriers up front and then the midfield to wings and a guy like Willemse. So who's your Willemse? That's where I would go with this. So maybe that's Suali. I don't know. But something that's like athletically superior to a not really super athletic midfield and wings that are quicker than a not super quick All Black wing duo and high ball, which I think the Wallabies showed they had some good skills in Cape Town. So, that's it. That's my case for the Wallabies. But I think it would be an upset.
It will feel like an upset for sure. I mean, anytime, whenever Australia did inevitably win the Bledisloe Cup, it was going to be an upset just because of the record. That's just reality. So I think you're right. It's their best chance.
Yep.
It is.
I still call it an upset because I think that usually things revert to the mean deep in tournaments, and when all teams start dropping 2 or 3 guys, and you don't have James O'Connor, I think the deeper teams, which is All Blacks and Springboks, seem to thrive. But I think I might put some money on this one on your Wallabies. Yeah. Yeah, and I've got a pretty good track record. I'm going to talk to Trev. Trev, our man, the syndicate, the head of the syndicate. I'm going to talk to that boy.
Trev's a Kiwi. No,
yeah, but
I can't.
He bets against his team all the time. Trust me. He's got, he's got the finger on the pulse, man.
I don't like this setting at all. I don't like this. I don't like this. Righto, that's us done. I will talk to you in a week.
You don't want to hear about the Springboks?
Yeah, go on then.
We win the tournament. Easy.
Yeah, you probably do. Yeah. I think you're red hot favourites now, and I think you need to admit that you're red hot favourites.
But that guy's back, number 10, Albanaz, whatever. The guy who wins Wimbledon as well as
Thomas
rugby.
Albanaz. Yeah,
I always get the tennis player, and the Argentine playoff. I get them melded together. I think they might be the same guy. Yeah.
Alcaraz and Albanaz,
along with Slipper and Montoya.
Yeah, well, James Slipper and Julian Montoya have been the same person for years. We've known that.
All right, man. Cheers.
No, they're favourites. They're favourites, mate. Just accept your favourites.
I think so. No, I think that's true because of where the second game is being played in London, which is basically Johannesburg North.
Could be. That's a danger.
The southwest part of London is very safer.
Yeah, could be. All right. Good on you, mate. I will talk to you in a week.
Cheers.
See you all then.